All right, welcome to still kind of basic Illustrator and shape. This is an example here where I like you guys to recognize the underlining geometry and kind of really learn how to break it down and go, okay, I could create it using ABCD. I'm going to do it from scratch also. I just literally downloaded this image and I've been kind of studying it, and I'm going to try to do it live. So let's do that. And then this is an older example that I used to have. This one's super easy to do. And then obviously the Green Bay Packers. That's actually pretty easy to do also. So let's start off with this one, the difficult one. I am going to show my ruler here. View, rulers, because I want to be able to kind of set myself some grid. So it seems like right now, scale wise, I think I'm going to go like maybe 1 inch apart. So 1 to 2. And then I'm going to enlarge this so that I get that. So this is going to take a little bit of time because I want to make sure that I set it up the way how I want to do it, or at least I'm thinking of doing it. So I have my artwork kind of 1 inch, is within the 1 inch, and I'm assuming that there's a big old circle here, and that's going to be a 1/2 inch radius. And then let me drop some rulers at the top. I am looking at the ruler here, to kind of get it to the roughly the 1 inch. And then let me drop this down. Okay. So let me see here. Excuse me. And also make sure your guides are unlocked at the moment. Oh, I selected the image. Let's actually lock the, no, I don't want to lock the image. Let's get the guides. And the guide, it tells me that I'm on the Y 1.0006. Let's be accurate, and let's just type 1 inch. So that guide is perfectly at 1 inch, and I want this guide to be at 2 inches. So you can kind of drag it down, and then you can really set it the way where you want it. And I want that guide to be 1 inch in the X, and that guy to be 2 inches in the Y. So I have basically a 1x1 square, kind of perfect. And then obviously this image is it's going to be a little bit off, but I'm using that as a reference. So I'm going to let's put another guide 1/2 inch away. Why not? I'll just drop it somewhere here, drop it somewhere here. Go to my selection tool, make that 1.5. Make this 1.5 in the Y. Oop. Okay, so now I have like the perfect 1 inch by 1 inch box. I have the center of the box, so then I can make sure that I am snapped. And hold down Alt so it drags from the center. And so I have that perfect circle set up. And let's go just a black outline for now. Oops. Oops. Okay. And then I imagine because this artist used the same proportion, these are all derivative of the 1 inch circle. So I should be able to, oh, I did a bad thing. I should make a layer. I'm going to move that path into my layer. And I'm going to call this, I don't know, draw artboard, artwork. I just come up with these random names all the time, but do a better job, guys. I'm going to call this trace layer. I'll lock the trace layer. So I can't select anything in the trace layer. And which is also, these guides are in the trace layer, so it's good because these guides aren't able to be selected. Okay, so now I am back at the artwork. What I want to do is I want to copy this and I want to oh no. I want to hold down shift, and I just want to be pretty disciplined about copying it properly. So that'll get me that. I don't know if that's on 1 inch. Hold down Alt and Shift to bring it straight down. And yeah, that seems to be a 1 inch. And then hold down Alt and Shift. All the way across. Hold down Alt. So that gives me that. That gives me that. Which means that that one should come down, like if I'm going to try to stay geometrically tight. So yeah, it seems like these are all derived from a 1 inch circle. So I'm just going to let everything overlap here. Here's the other one. Yeah, so they're all pretty tight here. Okay, I think I'm kind of done. And then of course later on I'm going to cut this and cut this across. I think the easiest thing to do is to select them all and just do a divide, which is this. So it divides them into these individual arcs, and then of course they're all connected. So then I'm going to go back and ungroup and start deleting stuff that's not part of my artwork. So I don't need that. Okay. Oops. I do kind of need that, but I don't need it from here. Okay, let's just see. Let's just kind of, you know what, I think it's easier if I color it and see if I need it or not. Okay, I don't need that. And I shouldn't need that. I need to cut that. I don't need that. Okay, I'm going to need all of this together. And I'm going to need to cut this guy now too, it seems like. So let me come back in here with a square. And hopefully you guys can follow, and hopefully it'll make sense to you when you guys work on this thing. I think it's this guy here, this guy, and that guy. And I'm going to, since the square is on top of the other one, I'm going to do a subtract, and it'll also get rid of the square, which is this tool right here. Huh. Wait a minute. Did I get rid of? It's that guy. So it should be that guy. And shift, select that guy. Wow, what is going on? Huh. Oh, okay, it's taking off all of that and it's getting rid of that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do a divide. When in doubt, do a divide and then go back and erase. Okay, ungroup, of course. Okay, got rid of that. Good. So that's coming together. So I have the nose of the fox and then the bodies. All these things are combined. So I'm going to put another square here really quick. And then here, if you just select all the shapes, as long as they're closed loop, you could also use this, which is kind of a fancier Pathfinder where you can just kind of do it on the fly, which is this guy right here, Shape Builder. And I can just select these two like that, and then it'll just make that one shape. I think that's what I need. And then I'm gonna, let me just take these into one shape. Take these into one shape. Oop. And then I'm gonna cut that later. Let me see. Yep, it's just kind of, and actually I should have kept all the circles because I think I could have used them here, but let me fill that and see what color that. Okay, so obviously I need to cut it. I need to cut it here. So let's put in another box, just kind of cutting across. And I'm just going to use this box to cut that. Do I want to do that? No. Let's, I wonder if this would work. Let's try this. I'm going to take it from that anchor, straight line. And I wonder if they'll let me take that, and that, and that, and then do a divide. Oh, wow. Yeah. Beautiful. So that one should be an independent. No, it bled. Huh. Oh, ungroup. Yep. I can get rid of that. Delete. So now I have this little earpiece. And then I have that, which I need to cut in half now. So yeah, the pen tool worked great. So again, being disciplined and having these points in play, these points available, or these grid lines from there to there. So I'm cutting across this shape here. So I'm going to select this football shape here and select this line. And I'm going to divide. And then I'm going to right click and ungroup. And that should separate this guy independently of the other guy. Okay, cool. Same thing, I'm going to have to divide this guy up. So I'm going to go here, make sure I am on the guideline. Come on. Guide. Hold down Shift. Straight down. So my line is selected. I'm going to hold down Shift and select this guy here. Divide. Right click. Ungroup. Okay. So I should be able to delete that. I'm just fill it to make sure. Oh, okay. Nope. I need to divide that there. So let's get another line. Yep. Just be patient. Hold down Shift. Hold down Shift. Oh, go to V to select. This is selected. Hold down Shift to select this guy. Divide. Ungroup. So, okay. So I hope you can see it is actually coming together. I need to divide this up for the tail. Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to combine this guy and that guy for one tail, but I also need to come down and create a division of that. So I'm going to take this, like that, V, dang it. Before you deselect, you should divide it up. And then I am going to take it right. I'm going to make sure that I'm right on that anchor. Anchor. Okay. Just so that I'm right at that dot. And I'm going to stretch this guy out and stretch this guy out and use that box to cut V. Let me just select all of this. And this guy, shift. Yep, I think that's it. I'm going to divide, ungroup. Okay. Okay, so that needs to get cut with this box here. All right, guys, we're almost done. And you guys thought that this was going to be super complicated. Oop. Oh, yeah. Delete it. And then we're going to add that back in by creating a box. Anchor to anchor. And then we're going to select both of these guys. Oop. No. Yeah, let's select both of them. Let's first divide it. Yeah, because we could always combine them again. And then again, we're going to select all of them. And with the shape builder, just connect these three together. Oof. I think we have a clean vectorize and then a little baby circle for the nose. And the beauty of it now is that you have all these individual assets that you could use to make the other foxes. Like you have these two shapes will be that, and then you mirror that, right? Like, which I'll do for you as an example, but hopefully you guys can see the various shapes. So what I would recommend is just have some multiple copies so that you could use it as a test. But now let's go and color that. I for eyedropper, click V for selection tool, select this guy, I for eyedropper, and then V to select this guy. Oh, wait. Okay, so that was, these two are combined on this one. So I'm going to do, let's see what the shape builder does, whether it recognizes a fill. Yep, that was good. Illustrator has gotten so much better. Eyedropper. Oh, I'm going to use the same orange, just in case, you know how this is pixelated, so some parts are lighter, some parts. So once I get the base colors, I'm going to make sure that I'm selecting the same colors. V, eyedropper, this guy. And I think this guy's the same thing, so V. Yeah, so this exercise was totally so that you guys can see underlining geometry when you see a design element, you can recognize it and, you know, and really just learn how to break it down. Okay. That's interesting. That kept the outline. Maybe it's because I started dragging from the outline object. Okay, so that's pretty much good. And then Let me see. Just make that black. Let's make a copy. I don't know where the eyeball goes, somewhere here. I'm holding down Alt and scrolling to zoom in, guys. Proportion. Okay. So there is my very first fox, and as you can see, it's vector, so it's an incredibly sharp image. It could be the size of a building and it'll still stay sharp. And then really at this point, I would probably just, take these two, just copy it and bring it here. I would probably set up another grid line in the middle so that I can mirror the face and be done with the face. And I don't know if I have something like this, but this is a quarter. So I can take that. Oh no. I can take this and then rotate it. All right. And I'll just take that. How's that? And then make a copy of it. So, this is another thing I'm not sure if I covered, but once you make one copy, if you go Control D, it'll just repeat the last one. And then what I'm going to do here is just have this thing pre-rotated. And I'm sure I'll use something somewhere. So maybe this guy belongs here. Okay, so you can see how this all coming together, and I believe this guy's just going to be this guy. So again, I can do that, make another copy, Control D, have multiple copies, and then just drop it on top. So I'm not going to continue with the rest, but I think you guys get my point. Or you draw it again with a bunch of circles and see if you can see the underlining geometry. Practice that. Okay, so that should be enough for you guys to complete the foxes. Let me move these out of here. Oop. Okay. The apple is kind of a pen tool. I don't think I introduced the pen tool. I think the next demos is going to be full of pen tool, but might as well introduce it now too. So let's start off with clicking about the center of this arc here. Hold down Shift, and it's because I'm trying to draw a nice curve, and you can see the curve goes up really nicely. And then something right here at the peak of that radius that returns back. I'm going to click, hold down Shift, and drag. And then click and drag. And we're going to adjust all of this. And then here, I want to bend the handle. So just in this case, just look at my example, but we're going to get to more in-depth pen tool on the next exercise. So I'm going to hold down the Alt. So I'm just going to try to explain to you guys. I'm going to bend the handle, and then I'm going to come here somewhere in the center, hold down Shift. Oh, no, click first, hold down Shift so you get a straight handle. Straight handles gives you the best curve. Hold down Shift like that. And then Alt again to bend this handle back. You guys are going to have to watch this video very carefully. Hold down Shift. Somewhere in the middle or along this. There we go. I'm looking at the top of my apple, by the way. And then hold down Shift. Come back down here to the middle. Hold down Shift. And somewhere. This is not a perfect arc, so I think I'm going to have to. And the thing with the pen tool is that you don't have to be perfect the first time. Oops. because you're going to have an opportunity to adjust it. So, and you know what? We're going to do more pen tool. This one, if you got an Apple that's crooked, I'm good. It's a quick introduction to what you're going to be doing in the next few days. So here I can grab my handles a little bit and really adjust my artwork to better fit the trace. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to select the path here. I could reduce, select the path, which opens up these grips. So I'm going to bring that in and then nudge that back. Adjust this guy, nudge back that curve, and nudge back this curve. So I think you can see how Illustrator kind of registers these curves. But in general, if you can keep these handles straight up and down or at a certain, at a calculatable angle, it'll make your life easier in general, but you can also do a very free-flowing shape. So I have a closed path here. I know it's a closed path when I can fill it with whatever color and it stays within it. So that's good to go there. And then we're going to make this little leaf here. This leaf is going to be really a circle. And if I want to reposition the circle without letting it go, you hold down the space bar and then you can do that so they can get rough and then you can get the size that you want. So I'm going to say that's about the size of the circle I want. And then I'm going to make a copy of this circle like that and kind of intersect the thing. So in this case, I want both of these circles, but I only want the part that intersect, right? So if you look at this tool right here, that's the intersection tool. So when I do that, I end up only with the leaf. So then I'm going to do an eyedropper. Oh, select my shape, eyedropper. So then I have a perfect outline of an apple or the apple leaf. There you go. And then all these divisions is quite simple. We're going to take one line, click, and hold down Shift and draw another horizontal line. And then we're going to select it. And we're going to hold down Alt and Shift so we come down straight. And I'm assuming that these are going to be equal space, so Control D. Pretty dang close. And then after that, I'm going to select the apple and all of the lines and then hit divide. And then before I deselect, I'm going to right click and go to ungroup. And now I can make that this color. The orange part, eyedropper, that orange. Eyedropper, that orange. The eyedropper is actually picking the pixel, the original red color of the apple, the JPEG image, and figuring out what that color was. Okay. So now if I select all my artwork, I can pull it aside. And here we go. I can group it. Now I have an outline here, so I want to turn that off. Turn that off. And there you go. Now, if you wanted an outline, then you'd have to recreate one that's just, well, actually, that's why I should have kept the original, because I could have kept the original outline and then overlaid it on top of here and then make a clear fill and then a black outline. Too late for that. Hopefully you're not gonna be too late. That's if you wanted an outline, black outline around the apple. The Green Bay, this should be pretty straightforward. I don't think we have a G that's exactly the same shape, so I want you to recreate it. But it should be pretty straightforward. You could start the ellipse, but again, if you hold down Alt, it starts from the center of where you started. But I actually want an outline so I can see. So here's, Illustrator kind of sees the center of this JPEG. But then now I hold down Alt, so it starts from the middle. And I just kind of get that rough shape. And then after that, I'm going to go to my selection tool so that I could scale it. But I'm going to hold down Alt so it scales up the middle, and hold down Shift so it stays proportional to that shape that I just drew. Or maybe it's not, so I'm going to hold down Shift. Let me just stretch it down here. So that's my inner G. And let's just take it like one step at a time. This time, oh, actually I didn't copy it, so I got to do Alt. How do I? It's not doing it. Okay, whatever. Control C, Control V, make another one. Oh, it's a good opportunity to learn a new tool. So I have two circles here, right? Two circles. You can do an align tool, so I'm going to align it to the center, so you can see how it's aligned to the center. But there's also another trick. If you right now, when you align it, the two circles met each other in the middle. But if you want one circle to stay and the other circle to get combined, before you hit align, you click this again, and you see how it just stays red? That means that's going to stay stationary. Then I'm going to hit that, and then it's still red, so then I'm going to hit this. So then now it stays centered relative to the object that I know I want to stay in place. And then escape out of that. Let's just kind of adjust these to fit. So now I have two circles. So I want this circle to have a stroke of this yellow, I guess. Oh, I'll do that. And I want the fill to be this green. What the heck? Stroke yellow. Okay, and then let's make that stroke a little bit thicker. Okay. So I have the background of the green bay. And this one also, I think I'm going to use the same green. But not yet. I was hoping to cheat and so I can see, but okay, so just know that I have this inside egg. So what I want to do is on the inside egg, I want to cut out this green area here. And let's do it a little bit at a time. So I'm going to come here, hit the center. Oop. Oh, it's moving the thing. It thinks that I want to recreate it. So you know what? Let's just create it. Let's use the skills that I just taught you. Select both. Select the outside one first, so then that stays locked. We're going to center it. Okay, we're good to go there. And then now we're going to just scale. Holding down Alt so it scales from the center. And we're going to try to match that green shape. Again, this may not match perfectly only because my image, my base trace file, might be a little bit distorted, but I know that I'm geometrically accurate here, so I'm going to keep going. And in this case now, I am going to select both of these, and this smaller circle is on top, so I'm going to punch it through. So now I have a donut. You'll see that I have a donut if I fill it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with this another square shape, and I'm going to create the G by combining these two shapes together. So it's a little bit of a sequence, and then I'm going to come back again, put another square, and I'm going to use that square to cut that part, upper part of the G. So now I have a green bay, and then I can turn that white. Oh no, I should select it, Turn that white without an outline for now. And these two guys, I could actually select. Again, select the outer circle so I can keep that stationary. And now I have a vectorized Green Bay logo. That's going to be great quality, no matter how much I zoom in versus this pixelated stuff. Okay, so that was 35 minutes. I was hoping to keep it to 15. Sorry about that, guys, but hopefully that gives you enough of a overview so that you can create it yourself.